Hi, this is Ruby here. Thank you for joining me today. If you guys are new here, welcome to our page. We talk about and discuss everything hotshot. So if you guys are interested in how to start a hotshot business, you please join us in our journey as we just started a few months ago. And we are going to be sharing with you guys everything that we've gone through and our experiences. So now our experience is, what we share is, of course, something based off of what we went through, how we experienced certain situations, whether it's in back office, booking loads, whether it's my husband driving. So you're going to get a variety of scenarios here with us here at F&R Transport. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to follow, share this video to anybody who might be interested, and leave us any comments if you guys have any questions in regards to our video. Today we are going to book my husband, which is my driver, a load. He actually picked up in Utah and he's on his way to Torrance, California now. So we're just gonna go ahead and try to find him something for Friday morning. He will be hopefully able to deliver this afternoon. If not, not a big deal. He can deliver first thing tomorrow morning if the receivers aren't able to unload him today. Usually what I like to do when we have the load, I want to go ahead, I always, I call the receiver to let him know my driver's on his way. His, ETA is, whatever his ETA is at that time. And the same thing for the receivers. Once he's close to the area, either it depends, because sometimes on your Raycon it says you have to call 24 hours in advance, or you have to call the shipper and let him know when your driver's ETA is. So I try to give enough time to the receiver, to let him know, like, okay, my driver picked up, roughly this is what we're looking at of him arriving there to deliver this load. And they're like, oh, great, thank you for calling, I appreciate that. And so usually what I tell them is I can give you a call back. I can call you when he's about an hour and a half away just to inform you of his arrival. So they're expecting him, so there's not a delay in him being unloaded. Is that always the case? No. Sometimes it takes him longer to get unloaded. But for the most part, once I call the receivers and the shippers, they already know somebody's coming in to either pick up or drop off. So they're expecting him. And the shippers and receivers love that. They appreciate that you take that extra step to call them and let them know, hey, we have a driver coming in, so you should be expecting him at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and call some brokers and see what we have. He's currently going to be in Torrance, California. What I like to do when I call, so what I have up already is, you guys can't see my computer screen. On the next one, I'll get that set up so I can, record on my computer, and then you guys can see everything that I'm doing. So you're just gonna pretty much, it's just a visual, you're just pretty much gonna hear me on how I communicate with these brokers, how I book these loads, what my process is. So what I like to have up, of course, I go through Truck Stop. I've booked all my loads through Truck Stop. So I have my Truck Stop up. I have my factoring company up, because within my factoring company, I can check the broker's rating, whether my factoring approves this load or doesn't approve this load, or I have to call my factoring to get approval on this load. So I have that up, and then I have my Google Maps. So that I have that on my other computer screen. So I have two computer screens. I have one for my Truck Stop, and then I have one for my Keep Trucking, so I can keep track of where my driver is at, which is my spouse, so I can see where he's at. So if there's, sometimes, if he does like a hard turn or a hard corner, I get that notification right away. If there's something, like a default that maybe he didn't see, I'll see it. But then it also helps. So like if he's on the road and I need to book him a partial, which I don't like to do partials. I like one pick, one drop. It saves time, it saves fuel, and it's easy. You pick up one and you drop one. Now, if he has we've been working more towards, booking partials, which have, really been helping us with the revenue and earning more money. So when I do book him a load, like let's just say, 20 feet and 9,000 pounds, then I have room to book him another partial. So I'll look in that area, see if there's anything in that area for me to book him another partial, going in the same direction. And last week we had two partials pick up in California, and then we had one drop in Oregon, and then one drop in Washington, which was going in the same route. So I am working more towards doing partials, but I will be completely honest, I don't like it. I think it's a waste of time unless the pay is right, then, of course, but I prefer one pick, one drop, go load and then go unload. One saves time, fuel, and then it's easier to book, especially for hotshot. Hotshot is sometimes it's not too easy to book loads for hotshot, so you have to really dig and be patient. Versus if you had a semi, it's easy because there's like 40 pages of loads for semi versus 2 to 3 pages for hotshot loads. So you kind of have to dig through the bundle of loads and see which one's going to be the best fit for your driver, whether non-CDL or CDL. So what I do as well, I'll show you, I have a notepad or notebook, and then I write down everything that the broker tells me, special instructions, if there's anything that I need to know, because sometimes when they post these loads, it doesn't really give the specifics. So then I like to write everything down so I know exactly, so I don't forget, because you're making so many phone calls. How do you remember everything that they say after you're just calling constantly, broker after broker? So I do have a notepad, and I jot down everything that they say. And this was from yesterday, so you'll see, not yesterday, before. So I like to write down anything that I need to know, what the load is, whether it's pipes, what is its weight, what is the length, the height, is it a legal load? I always make sure, is it a legal load? Does it need tarps, no tarps? How many feet drops? Is it 4 feet drops, 6 feet drops, 8 feet drop tarps? I always ask if it's a shipping container or anything other, anything that needs to be unloaded and loaded. Is the shipper going to load it? Is the receiver going to unload it? Okay. Especially picking up forklifts, are we loading from the dock, or is this forklift going to be on the ground and he can just drive it up? Because we do have monster ramps. So when I call brokers, they're like, okay, well, what kind of equipment do you have? So usually I tell them, we have a medium duty hotshot, air ride suspension. We have monster ramps, 10 feet monster ramps. Sorry, this is falling here. We do have monster ramps. My driver is CDL, so I give them the basics of what our setup is, so like that they know, and they're like, oh, okay. And I do get that from a lot of brokers. Oh, you guys have a really nice setup. Yes, we do. And they like that. They're like, oh, your driver's CDL. Oh, nice. Okay. So that's another advantage too, because, not to say that they don't want non-CDL, but I was speaking to a broker just earlier this week, and so I was trying to book a load, and he's like, oh, you have to be in business for 12 months. Unfortunately, because, there has been an increase in insurance claims. It went up, like he said, 160% on insurance claims for accidents, because there's a lot of new drivers who are not well informed of the business. And so they are causing a lot of accidents. And so, and a lot of them are new carriers. A lot of them are hot shots, he said. So it's a nationwide problem, because there's a lot of hot shot truck drivers that are coming out and they don't know how to strap. He goes, if you would have seen how these drivers strap, he goes, they don't know how to strap. They don't know how to load these loads. They don't know how to distribute the weight on their trailers. And so I'm like, I'm sure there is a lot of drivers out there, but we're not that exception. My driver is very well experienced. He's very knowledgeable. He knows what he needs to do to be in compliant. He knows his weight distribution. He's very well knowledgeable. And so this broker was just like, well, if your driver wants to take this load, because we didn't really come to terms on a rate. And I was like, well, I'm not going to take that. That's far going, it was like 1,000, almost 2,000 miles. And then the rate wasn't quite right. It would have been a partial, but nonetheless, so he's just like, but if your driver really wants to take this load, let me know. I'll call my corporate office to call the insurance to see if we can make an exception for your driver, because he liked what he heard from me. He liked the way I described my driver. And so then I don't tell these brokers that my driver is my husband, unless sometimes I do, because there was this one broker. For example, I booked a load for my husband in California that was going to Utah. It was the machinery for a car wash. And so she's like, when your driver is close to picking up the load, let me know. And I was like, okay. So I was like, oh, and I was like, well, we haven't received, he doesn't. And I emailed her and I was like, oh, we don't have the address for the pickup on the Raycon. She's just like, oh, are you his spouse? And I'm like, yes. She's like, oh, okay, then I'll just send it to you, girl. And I was like, oh, so you don't normally send the address on your Raycon? She's just like, no. She goes, you'll be surprised how these dispatchers don't communicate to their drivers. I'm like, how is that even possible? She's like, oh, this is why we don't give the dispatchers the pickup address. We ask that the drivers call to retrieve that information. And I was like, how is it that the dispatchers are booking these loads for these drivers, but yet aren't communicating with the driver? She's just like, This is why we have this in our policy, because it has happened several times. She goes, we ask that the drivers call to get the pickup address for that load that they're going to be picking up. Unless it's a wife, then we make an exception. She's like, girl, you know, that's money for us. And I was like, for sure. So yeah, even brokers aren't even giving the pickup address to these dispatchers, because she said there's a lack of communication from dispatchers to their drivers. So I think I ranted it on enough, gave you the basics of what I'm going to be doing. So let's go ahead and get into it and start calling these brokers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put on my mic so you guys can have a better audio to when I'm calling these brokers. So you guys, like I said, I already have my notepad out so I can take notes of the loads. So I'm getting all the description of what my driver's going to be hauling, what the commodity is, and if there's any special instructions. I get, I have my rate. I see the rates. So what I normally do, right now there's quite a bit of loads in California. And so I always have the highest paying rate on top, and I let it filter down. So right now, like for example, there's a load of $34.62 rate per mile, but it only pays $810. So it's a load from California to California. It's 40 feet, 15,000 pounds. It's probably going to be a container. Tracking required, Axotami commodity series, ACM system, 4-panel crates. Okay, so it's not a container, but because we're finishing off the week, and then we didn't have anything for Monday afternoon until Tuesday, so I need something of a good rate to finish off the week, at least with 6,000 this week. So I'm going to go ahead and look. I don't want to send him to Washington. There's a few loads going into Washington. It's so funny because yesterday there was a load. I'm like, oh, shoot, it's paying $5.27 per mile, 8,500. I'm like, AK, oh, Arkansas. I'm like, that's stupid. That's Alaska. Yeah, we're not going to Alaska. So I take that one off the board. I remove it so I don't have to see it again. But like I said, I have it filtered with the highest rate on top. And so like that, I can see, because there's so many rates. I mean, there's so many loads for me to choose from. It's just a matter of which direction do I want to send my husband in this weekend. I don't want to go to Washington. And I told him there was a really good load going into Washington, but because we had such a hard time coming out of Washington, I don't want to go there right now again. And he made a good point, and it's true what he said. It's absolutely true what he said. He's like, the times that you struggle and go through moments of difficulty is when you're going to learn. And I'm just like, shut your mouth. I know that, but I don't want to have to go through that again in the same week. So I tell him, but it's true. When you go through difficulties in life, that's a learning opportunity. That is an opportunity for you to learn and grow. I get that, and I know that, but I just don't want to go to Washington right now again. So I tell him I can, send you from California to California. There's a load that pays $1,800, and here it is. So there's a load, $1,800. It picks up an hour away from what he's dropping off, going to Fremont, California. It's 25 feet, 15,000 pounds. It pays $4.34 per mile, and it's paying $1,800. So then I open it up, make sure it's not a wide load, and sometimes they have them in inches. So this one's an air conditioning equipment. Parts delivery is early Saturday morning. That's probably why they have it for, because you can easily, it's only 415 miles, and you can easily do that within the same day. 415 miles, I'm going to bring up my calculator. I usually have my calculator on my phone, but since I'm recording from my phone, I can't use my phone, right? So let's see. So 415 miles, I always do it 415 divided by 60. And it's 6.9 hours, so 7 hours. So he can easily pick up that same Friday and drop off that Friday. But what they're asking is they want pick up Friday and deliver Saturday morning, which is not a big deal if we were to have taken that load. It's easy money. It's $1,800. He's going to stay in California, and then the chances of us finding another load out of California is very high. There's quite a bit of freight right now in California. Good paying loads like the one I'm showing you. It's $4.34, $1,800, but you have to deliver Saturday morning, which is not a big deal. Then he can just do his reset in California and then be ready to go Monday morning. And then I would find him a load today or tomorrow, picking up in the area of Fremont, California, and then going whichever direction. probably not Washington. There's good money going into Washington, but sometimes my last experiences of coming out of Washington haven't been the greatest. So, like for an example, there's a load picking up in California and it's going to Florissant, Colorado. I like to look ahead. And I have to be quick because some of these loads are good paying loads, so I don't want to take my time. So as I'm calling these brokers, another thing that I can do as well. So as I'm looking up the information, I see broker MC. I have my factoring company website open. I'll go ahead and enter their. It closed out. So let's just say I'm calling them, right? And I'll show you right now. Calling them, I'm looking at the description. Okay, so this one, oh, this is probably going to be a wide load, or 118 wide by 28 long by 113 tall. So let's see, 118 wide. So to figure out the feet, of course, you take that number and you divide it by 12. Oops. So it's 9.83. It is a wide load because anything over 8.5 of your trailer is already considered a wide load. So it's 9.83 is why they're paying good money, because it's a wide load. You have to get permits for this one. Can we get permits? Absolutely. The permit that we got for this load that my husband is driving, that he has on his trailer now, they told me, well, California is probably going to take about a day or two for the permits to be ready. And I'm like, a day or two? Like, no, I need that like soon, because my driver's going to be in California today. And so it was actually ready yesterday. So luckily for me that I didn't have to wait that day or two for my permits to be ready. So that one going into California, which is why you have to check your description. So they give you everything in inches. You have to calculate it in feet. 118 inches divided by 12 is 9.83 feet. So that's already a wide load. If we want to take it, we could. It's been on the map. It's been actually on truck stop since yesterday. So that just tells me nobody has really taken it because it's a wide load. They don't want to go through the hassle of having to get the permits because they think it's really difficult to get permits. So I know that it's been on there since yesterday. That is where I can negotiate for more money because nobody has taken it yet. And actually a permit that we have for California, it is a little bit of a process to get set up with a permit company because they'll tell you everything that they need for that one truck and your one trailer. Once you give them all that information that one time, they have that saved in their system. So next time you need a permit, that second time or third time around, they're going to have that information. You're going to tell them, yes, I'm calling from this company. I need a permit of an over dimension load that I'm going to be hauling, whether it's today, tomorrow. And then they'll say, okay, for which unit, which truck is it, right? And if you're registered with them, and for example, for us, I'm going to say unit 2. This is our second truck because our other one, we're not using that one. So I say it's for unit 2 and they'll say same trailer. Yes, same trailer, 2021 PJ trailer. And then they'll get that information. What is the commodity? They have to know the specifics. If there's more than one piece, you must tell them it's 2-3 pieces and then give them that information. So this one, we're going to go ahead and probably skip this one. 28 feet long, 113 inches tall. Let's see, 113, that's probably... that's not what I wanted to get into. Did I close out my calculator? I did. I always just X everything out. So let's go ahead and 113 divide that by 12. That's about 9.41. So that's not really considered an oversize, but you still want to give that information to your permit company. But okay, I can call just to show you guys to see me negotiating a rate on this one because, like I said, it has been there since yesterday. It's pickup for today. Today or tomorrow it has, because on the pickup you'll look on the information, it says pickup date 8/12 or 8/13, drop off 8/14, and then of course they want it morning drop off. So as I know already, it's already been in there. So let me go ahead and get their MC and verify them. 871-751. Come on. It's not wanting to. Oh, my number lock is off. Okay. 871. What is it? So let's see. It's 871, 751. So why do I do this? Why do I verify this broker? So in my factoring company, it doesn't have a broker listed. 871, 751 is not in their system. It's Advanced Motor Freight. So in this one, I would have to call to see if I'm okay to book this load. 871, 751. 871, 751. So, I have everything on my phone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call my permanent company right now and see if we can use this company. Okay, so let's go ahead and call my factoring company, and I'll show you guys how I get a broker verified. One. Okay.
Seven Oaks Capital, this is Stacy. I'm the director call.
Hi, Stacy. This is Ruby again. Amy wasn't available. Is there somebody else that can verify an MC number for me?
Yes, let me check Alex. 1 second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is very important that you get your MCs approved from your factoring company.
This is Alex. May I help you?
Hi, Alex. Good morning. I needed to verify an MC number if I can, please.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay.
What's the MC?
Okay, it's 871 751.
They look good, about 35 average pay days.
35. Okay, yeah, I didn't find them in the system online, so I needed just to call you guys and get that verified. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
So they're not in their system as a broker that they have used clearly. So I always call to get the green light whether I can or can't. And she's showing an average pay days of 35 days, which is what they show in Truck Stop. Truck Stop shows about an average 33 days. So this is something that I can use. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a call and see if I can get more money out of it. Okay, let's try. Now that I know my factoring company will approve this load, because sometimes they'll say, oh no, we can't approve this one. If you want to take that load, you're going to have to bill directly. Pretty much you're on your own if you want that one. So I'm going to take my notes.
Good morning, Dan.
Hi, Dan. Good morning. This is Ruby from F&R Transport. I'm calling about a load that you guys have picking up in Jurupa Valley, California, going to Fremont, California.
Yes.
Do we still have that load available?
Oh, I've got like 5 of them.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Got a couple covered. Yeah.
Okay.
You got a few trucks out there, or just one?
Just one. I'm going to have my truck in California this afternoon, so probably pickup will be tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right. What type of truck do you have?
We have a medium-duty hotshot. Our hotshot does have air ride suspension with monster ramps. My driver is a CDL driver as well. So I did notice that this load is 25 feet long, 15,000 pounds. So it looks like it's an oversized load.
It is oversized, yeah. I think I forgot to put that on there.
Yeah, you have the dimensions of 118 wide. So calculating that, that's about a little bit less than 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
Yep, and then less than
Yep.
10 feet tall. Okay, and it's 28.
Correct.
Okay. And so it's an air conditioning equipment is what it's stating?
Yeah, it's just a big box with heating and ventilation equipment in it.
Okay. And so trucks arrive. So this one you guys are asking for it to be picked up Friday evening, is that correct?
They would like it on site up there Friday evening.
To deliver Friday evening or to pick up Friday evening?
They'd like to pick it up today or Friday morning,
Okay.
and they would like it up there in Fremont Friday evening, and then they're going to unload it. They're not going to unload it until Saturday morning, but he would just like assurance that it's all there
Okay.
Friday night or
Sure. Sure, understood.
so.
Okay, and they're going to be the receivers and shippers are going to load and unload this commodity?
Yep, yep.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so unloading would be Saturday morning as you stated. Okay. So
Correct.
I do notice you have 1800. Can we do 2100 on this load?
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
And if there's excessive delay, there's 5 of these loads, so I don't know exactly how quick things will go Saturday morning, but if it's any excessive delay or whatever, we'll take care of you. So
Sure, sure. Yeah.
I just need the job done right, and
Right.
we'll take care of you. So.
Right, right. And you guys would be in good hands with us. As I said, my driver is a CDL driver, so he does have experience with oversized loads. He's actually currently has an oversized load coming in from Utah to California. So we definitely don't shy away from these because he does have the experience on these oversized loads. And so is why I asked 21, because it's, especially in California, you have to be extra careful with oversized loads because there's a lot of traffic, of course. So we want to make sure that this commodity gets picked up and delivered safe and sound. And so, like I said, we do have an air ride suspension, so it's going to have a sweet ride from Jurupa Valley all the way to Fremont, California. But if you can make 2100 work, I can go ahead and
Yeah, no, I'll do that. So, yep.
okay, and then I can go ahead
What was your name again?
Yep, my name is Ruby.
Ruby. Okay. And the company was
It's F&R Transport.
Frank, like F and R.
Correct.
Frank and Ruby, or
That's correct.
Ruby,
Yep,
or-
yep, yep,
Okay.
yep.
Transport.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And your number?
MC or cell phone?
70. Oh, I suppose what's your MC? Do I really care?
106.
10. Yep.
It's MC is 106.
All right.
And I don't believe we are registered with you guys, so I would need to get signed up with you guys.
I'm pretty hard to work with. You can tell that already, can't you?
Yeah, you're very difficult. You're a tough one to work with. I like those kind. Make my job give me a little bit of a challenge here.
Yeah, some of these. Well, I sell this stuff actually, and I drive myself. I was delivered this morning and didn't get back to one last night, so I decided, not the normal broker. Most of these guys, they'll just shoot drills. They don't even know what a pallet is.
Right, right. And you have
I
your
know exactly what I'm talking about.
right. You have there's good and bad on both spectrums of brokers and drivers as well. Yeah. So you drive and you do brokering as well.
Yep.
Wow, you're pretty busy then.
And actually sell this type of equipment too. So.
Oh wow, you're very much busy then.
I stay busy.
That's good.
Yep.
Good for you.
You got how many trucks do you run?
We have one, currently one.
Okay. I got some stuff in South Dakota
Oh, really? So do you
Yep.
move quite a bit of freight coming out of South Dakota?
Oh, fair amount.
Okay, I'll keep you in mind because usually when we are actually based out in North Dakota, so sometimes it's a little tricky to get a.
Williston or
No, no.
where you at? Or,
It,
okay, all
um,
right. I know where that's at.
yep. So
You
my,
know the hospital, isn't it the hospital there?
I'm sorry.
How long you been there? How long you been there?
We have been here in Dick for about 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. So usually, well, my driver is my
The
husband.
hospital, the we hauled. Anyway,
Okay.
I'll get this sent over to you.
Perfect.
And when is it gonna? Is this your husband or?
That is correct. Yep. My driver,
Husband or-
my husband.
Okay.
Yep. He should be arriving in California this afternoon. We're looking about what is the latest pickup for you guys?
I will check. Do you think it could, by 4 or so, or you're not quite sure yet, probably?
I like to give him time. I'm kind of giving him a little bit of wiggle room because, like I said, he does have an oversized load right now. So I know how traffic in California can be. So we're just kind of playing it by ear to see if there's no delays in the traffic. So if there's no delays, and we're looking about 3 o'clock, but some receivers are there to like.
Just kind of play it by ear.
Yeah, yeah.
Play it by ear. So.
Yeah, and so that's why we're playing it safe, trying to find him something for Friday because there's always delays in California, which are unexpected. So that's why we like to give him plenty of time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this one's all yours. So
Sounds great. Perfect.
I'll get her sent over to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And then once I get it, then I'll go ahead and fill it out and send it right back to you.
Very good.
Alrighty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
See how I got that one up to $300 more? It's easy. Well, not all of them, because not all of them want to pay that much more. So let's go ahead, and this one is only one permit. It's only running in California. I'm going to say $50 at the most, because I know that the permit for California, it's $16 because we have one going into California today. It's $16. The permit company only charges $33 to process everything. So that one is, so let's go ahead and do our calculations. 2,100. We're going to divide it by our, so it's 415 plus 64 deadhead, 479. Aye. Oh. And so the rate of this one is $4.38 per mile. Nope. Oh, because of our deadhead. So 438 is what we have for our rate per mile. It's 25 feet, 15,000 pounds, and it's only 9.7. It's less than 10 feet wide. And it's paying $2,100 for 415 loaded miles. So it's an hour deadhead, 64 miles deadhead plus 415. And then this one's going for $4.38. And so you see how easy it was for me to negotiate and get more money. It was easy. I'm going to go ahead and put pause on this because my spouse is calling, and I'll be right back. Boy, what a day, what a day. So after we disconnected on my previous clip, we had a little scenario with my husband, and the DOT officer pulled him over. And so be expecting a video from my husband on that scenario that just happened with a DOT officer. So all is well. We're up and running. We got the situation taken care of. Just know that there was no citations given to my husband, but be expecting a video shortly of him uploading his situation, just to help inform you guys of situations that do arise with the DOT officer. So okay, in regards to this load, you guys seen that the broker was asking $1,800 for this load, right? So what I did was I seen what my deadhead miles was, how many loaded miles from pick to drop. As I mentioned, it is an oversized load, so I'm gonna get my permit for that one, and that one's gonna be $50 because it's only $15 for the permit of California, plus the processing agent charges $35. So it's gonna be about $50 for my permit. And so what I did was the broker sent me over a carrier packet. I filled it out. On this carrier packet, you're gonna put the date that you guys are in agreement, your company name, address, DOT, MC number. Some of them ask for your federal ID. So of course, you wanna just kind of browse through your information. It's pretty much the same as all the other carriers. So once you read one, you pretty much read them all. And then you'll go to the very end and just sign it and date it. Once that's done, I scan it into my scanner, and then it gets sent to my email. I save it to my email, and then I forward it over to the carrier. I do this right away, so the broker knows that I really want this load, so he doesn't give this load to anybody else. So I get this filled out and I send it to him right away. I stop whatever I'm doing, get this done. And when he sent me the carrier packet, he had already sent me over our rate confirmation, but I don't send this over until I get my carrier packet sent to him. So once that was sent to him, I went ahead and reviewed the details on my Raycon. And you want to make sure you're really thoroughly reading through your Raycon. And I'll tell you what happened to me just right now, because I read it, and when we were talking, I guess I didn't mention tarp. I don't recall that I did. And on my Raycon, it does say it needs to be tarped. And my husband was like, how am I supposed to tarp an 11-foot or less than 11-foot tall commodity? And I'm like, it kind of makes sense there. I go, you know what? I don't even think we even talked about it being tarp. So I sent an email to the broker, and I'm like, information I forgot to ask. And I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. But anyways, and so then I asked the broker, how many feet drops do I need for my tarp? Because it's either 4-foot drop, 6-foot drop, 8-foot drop. And he's like, oh, no tarps whatsoever. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Because my husband he's like, that's going to be such a pain for me to tarp it at that height. And he goes, you should have at least asked for $200 more for that one. I was like, I got $300 more. So yes, I did get more money. And then now that we got the clarification that there's no tarp, then it's like even better. So, as I was mentioning, this was a very easy video for me to demonstrate how I just bluntly asked him for more. And I kind of gave a little bit of a good description of our truck, trailer, driver, CDL, those keywords so they can hear that. And of course, he liked it. So, and then altogether, my rate per mile was like $4.38 per mile. That's a pretty good rate from California to California, only driving 400, and it's actually 407 miles. It said 415, but it's 47. But what is 407? Let's see, 407 plus 64, so 471. And then we're gonna take 2100 divided by 471. That gives you your rate per mile. 445. 445 is my rate per mile. So it was 407 is what this other page showed me, plus 64 deadhead. So it's 471 total miles to include my deadhead miles. You always want to include your deadhead miles. So it's 2100 divided by 471. 445 is my rate per mile on this load. Okay. And so it's 64 deadhead plus 407 loaded miles. So my rate is 445. $50 for my permit. So for $2,100 for one day, 407 miles, that is pretty damn good because it's an oversized load. So this is why I go back to my previous video. Do not shy away from oversized loads. Definitely get your description of the load. Have them make sure you have exactly what you need so you can take that to the permit company. So what I'm going to do, my load is 9.83 wide. I'm going to ask for a permit of 11 feet wide just to have a little bit wiggle room, just in case it's a little bit longer than that, because once you pay for your permits, there's no modifying it. You would have to pay to get another set of permits, and so that's pretty much a brand new order. Your old ones don't count, and you already paid for it. There's no refund. So going forward, what I'm going to do, if this one is 9.83 wide, I'm going to ask for my permit to be 11 to be on the safe side. I'm going to see if I can, just to be on the safe side, so it gives me a little bit of room just in case it's over 9.83. Maybe 11 is a little bit too much. I'm going to find out if it changes price any, which I don't think that it will. And if not, then I'm gonna say let's just do 11 just to play it safe if it allows me to. If it says no, you can't go that much further or that much out, I think I could, because another one said, yeah, you should be able to. So I'm gonna get a permit for 11 feet wide. My height of it is 9.375, which is I'm still legal. And then of course my length is legal, my weight is legal. So the only over dimensional permit that I'm going to need is for my over width which is 9.83, but we're gonna round it up to 10, maybe even 11 feet, depending what the permit company tells me. So this was it for today, you guys. Once we get this done, and my husband is on his way to pick up, I will send an email to the broker stating, good morning, tomorrow morning my driver is on his way to pick up this load. Once he picks up the load, I notify the broker again, my driver has picked up, and then I send them pictures. You don't have to, they don't require it, some do, some don't. I just kind of, we take pictures. So for a scenario that happened today, because it's a way of anything were to happen, they can see the load, the way it's strapped, they can see the way the load is chained or the way the load is, and then they can see like a typical hotshot, the way we have our setup. And so usually I'll send them a picture, and I'm telling you guys, the brokers really appreciate that, because like I said, we are building rapport with these customers by keeping them informed and updating them, and like give me a second and sending them pictures of the truck and the load. So they really do appreciate that. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then once he's on his way, then I'm gonna call the shipper and let the shipper know, hello, this is Ruby from FNR Transport. I have my driver who picked up from, whatever area, and he's on his way to deliver a load to you. His ETA should be around whatever time. If you like, I can give you a call maybe an hour and a half prior to him arriving, just so you guys can be expecting him. Whether they say, yeah, that's fine, or no, that's not necessary, just with that one phone call, I'll leave it just as that. I can do that right now because I only have just my one driver down the road. Once I take on more carriers, that my setup is going to change a little bit. But I'm still going to want to stay within the same procedure that I have going on now. Of course, with me being new in this business, things are going to kind of fluctuate and change as I go. Like my whole setup. I have a mess right now because I'm reorganizing everything on how I have my setup, because this is my workspace and I like things to be organized. And so I'm kind of changing things around as I see fitting for me. But this is going to do it for today, you guys. This was me booking a load for my husband. I think we did a really good load, 450 miles for $2,100, 1 day's work for $2,100. And so then that's going to allow for us to finish off the week with about $6,000, because we were down for almost 1 day because I couldn't find him a load coming out of Washington. So that really hurt us. But it's just 1 day, so it's not gonna, jeopardize the business. It is what it is. It was a learning experience, and like I said, I really don't want to go back to Washington anytime soon. But like my husband says, we learn from these experiences. They'll be able to work harder to, figure out how to get us out of certain situations, and so which I did, but it was a little tough. Dispatching hotshot is a little tough, depending on what market you're in, what area you're in, versus a semi. As I mentioned before, you can have 40 pages of semi loads, and then you'll have like maybe 4 pages of hotshot loads, So, the loads are very limited, but what I do, I don't just stick to just, the description, the equipment type of just hotshot. I'll look for flatbed, step deck. And if those fit my weight and my length, then, I definitely call on those. Some of those will say no hotshot, and I don't even bother with those. And so then I just kind of, take those off my boards. But if they say flat or flat step deck, I definitely call on those as well, because that is something that a hotshot can take, as long as it's within my my weight and my length. So, but it just depends on the broker, because some brokers don't want hotshot. We had an incident last week where we were able to take a load, but the guy was like, oh, just because you have a hotshot, my shipper is going to turn you away right away. And I'm like, really? Even though, and I'm kind of giving them all these pointers, and he's just like, I'm sorry. He goes, if you were to show up, and if I were to give it to you, and I would want to, but if you were to show up with your hot shot, he will turn you away. You will not get loaded. I was like, no, I understand. You know, there's a lot of, there's a lot of hot shot out there that really don't know what they're doing, and they kind of give, you know, the other ones who do have a good setup and are knowledgeable a bad reputation. So it's like, I understand, I respect your guys' decision, not a problem. And I just keep looking, you know. So don't get discouraged if they turn you away and they tell you no, you can't take it with a hot shot. You just keep calling, you just keep doing your business, you just stay positive and keep your head up. You know, you're gonna have brokers turn you away, and that's okay. But because, you know, the market is over flooded with brokers. There's plenty of brokers that will work with you with a new authority, with a non-CDL license. So don't get discouraged. You know, I hope this video was helpful and beneficial. I know it's a little bit long, so I'm done. Like, I think I'm just done for today. In general, today was, after we disconnected on my last clip, it was very, very stressful. But we worked through it and we got through it, and my husband's up and driving, and there was no citations given. So please be sure to turn on those notifications so you guys can be informed of the next video that he's going to upload, and he's going to really express how he feels. So, well, this is going to do it for me today. You guys, if you guys have any questions on dispatching, let me know. Leave a comment in the comments below, but please be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and share the video, like the video. You know, you guys do your little thing, what you guys, you know, normally do. And once again, we appreciate all the love and the support and the interaction that you guys have given to our page. That really means a lot to us, and I hope that we can continue providing you guys with the content that you guys are asking for and are needing. So this video was based off of somebody wanting to know my process of dispatching, and this is what I do. It is a little extended in length, and I hope you guys can kind of get through it all. But I will see you guys on the next one. If you guys have any suggestions on any kind of videos that you guys want me to do, let me know in the comments, and I will be sure to do the videos as the time allows me to. So this was one that was requested. I have, I think, maybe 2 other videos that I need to get to, and I will get to those videos. I promise you guys, I will get to those. I haven't forgot about them yet, so just give me a little bit of time and I will get to those as well. But this is gonna do it for today. You guys have a fantastic day. Stay safe and stay blessed out there. Talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.